Hello, everybody. I'm Toby Shifsky, Vice President of Kaplan Real Estate Education. I'm here with Natalie Smart, and we are here for Conquering the Real Estate Exam in Spanish. We're going to be talking about and introducing our new Spanish National Learn sessions, and we're going to get into the meat of it and talk about all the value and all the reasons why you might want to attend. Also, we're going to talk about kind of what the intent of these sessions are and just how much help we're looking to give our bilingual community. And I think we got the right person here. So Natalie, thank you for being here.
Gracias. Thank you for having me here. Mr. Shifty es el vicepresidente de educación de Kaplan, y lo que está tratando de hacer Kaplan es tener la información y la educación disponible para todo el mundo en español, en su propio idioma, para poder romper esa barrera que a veces tenemos de que tenemos que tomar el examen en inglés y también tomar las clases en inglés, y por lo menos de esta manera muchos estados todavía toman el examen en inglés, pero tenemos instrucción en español. Así que pues, thank you for having me here.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for doing the translations too. I appreciate that. So let's go ahead. I want to really introduce Natalie. And so I want to talk about where she comes from and what we're really having here as far as an expert. So Natalie Smart is a highly accomplished real estate broker, coach, and educator, renowned for her expertise and dedication and multicultural approach, which we're very thankful for today. Fluent in both English and Spanish, Natalie's Venezuelan heritage enriches her interactions with diverse clientele. Since 2017, when you started your journey in real estate, she's excelled in guiding clients through real estate transactions, leveraging her profound industry knowledge and exceptional negotiating acumen. Natalie's background as a Spanish instructor further exemplifies her commitment to empowering others, a quality that extends to her coaching and educational endeavors within the real estate sector. Once again, thank you, Natalie.
Thank you for having me here again. And let me introduce myself in Spanish. No tengo así tantas cosas espectaculares que decir sobre mí misma, excepto porque sí he estado en bienes raíces desde el 2017 y ha sido una carrera maravillosa. He logrado muchas cosas y he logrado parte de la vida que siempre quería. Entonces quisiera, gracias, Aida, y todos estoy viendo el chat. O sea, hay alguien que quiere hacer su examen hoy. Jamie dice, genial escuchar en español, y esa es la idea. La idea es que hay muchísimos clientes que hablan español, una clientela gigante en el país que necesitan de nuestra ayuda y nuestro profesionalismo. Y lo mejor que podemos hacer es preparar a los agentes para que tengan los conocimientos de las leyes nacionales de real estate y de las leyes estatales en su propio idioma. I'm sorry, but there's a hand raise. Is it okay if I ask and see what he wants?
Yeah, absolutely. We got questions coming already. Yeah, by all means. Go
Sí,
ahead.
Altimo, tienes tu mano levantada. Cuéntame, si quieres creo que puedes quitar el mute y hablar si quieres. He has his hand raised, but he can unmute himself, right? That's what I said. I think.
I don't know. Generally, I think we would have to unmute them. I think you, well, let's see.
Allowed to talk. Oh, I see it. Okay, I allow him, I think, asked to unmute.
Yeah. Or, hey, for everybody here, we are going to be looking at the chat questions. So when you go into the webinar chat, you should be able to ask all your questions. You can do it in Spanish. You can do it in English. Natalie is multi-talented language expert. So go ahead and put your questions in the chat, and we'll make sure and answer as many of them that we can, okay? You can be in English or in Spanish.
All yes. Right. So, Altimo, si quieres, pon las preguntas o lo que quieras decir en el chat. Y pues de ahí podemos contestarte también.
All right, so let's do this. Let's jump in. We have a lot of people here and they have questions, and this is a great venue for everybody to be able to ask some questions. So let me ask you, and let's get right to the heart of the matter. Kaplan has gone through a lot of effort to create educational experiences that are fully supported. So we do online asynchronous courses for everybody for their licensing education. And then above the top of it all, we try to offer full support with expert instructors in a live online format. Nearly every day of the month, we offer it. And we've just introduced a Spanish speaking component to that you are helping to teach. And so, what is our Spanish learn national laws, and who should attend? And maybe I just asked that question.
So we have the major most tested topics in the national learn, like agency, things that you really need to know, contracts, things that are basic to your real estate practices, but they're also heavily tested because of that. And so we have sessions on all the major things that you're studying on your own. So the fantastic thing about the Spanish learn and learn in general is that you can do things on your own pace. If you're a busy person, you have another career and you're starting to get into real estate and start your real estate business, but you can access the information whenever you want to. And then you always have twice a week a live instructor that can go over questions that you have in your own language. And so that's what I love, that I feel like it's really innovative, and I love that Kaplan is trying their best to meet their needs of their students in the current reality that we're in. Because many times we wear so many hats and we do so many things in the modern days that it's fantastic to be able to learn whenever you can make it possible. And the fact that we now have the ability to do it in different languages, I think it's amazing. And so if that's okay with you, I'm gonna say it in Spanish as well.
Please.
So en español, para todos los que hablan español o prefieren el español, además del inglés, lo que estaba preguntando él es ¿cuáles son los temas que cubrimos en las sesiones de Learn en español o de aprendizaje en español para las leyes nacionales? Y tenemos muchísimos temas que son importantes para el examen, como agencia, contratos, cosas que son básicas para poder ser buenos agentes de bienes raíces y para poder servir a nuestra población hispana mejor. Y él preguntaba también quién debe asistir, y cualquier persona que prefiera el español, o sea, que prefiera aprender en español. Y yo sé que tienen que tomar el examen en inglés, pero nosotros tenemos los materiales en español y también en inglés, o por lo menos los materiales visuales. Y si ustedes están en un estado en donde tengan que tomar el examen en inglés, vamos a poner los conceptos en inglés y los vamos a traducir al español, y vamos a trabajarlos en una manera en que entiendan suficiente y que tengan las herramientas necesarias para poder sacar su licencia de bienes raíces.
Excellent. Let me do this. I'm going to ask a poll question. Can you help me?
Yes.
Also with a poll question. So we're going to do a first poll question. We try to make sure that you guys get engaged as quick and often as possible. And really, once again, our poll questions are anonymous, so nobody's going to see your name tied to it. Now, if you do put a chat question in, everybody will see your name in chat, so be appropriate. But in the poll question, I just want to ask who's in the audience so that we can kind of gauge who's actually sitting here, and really how long have you been in the real estate how long have you had your real estate license? Is it currently taking classes at Kaplan, less than 3 years, more? Answer the appropriate one, and maybe you can go through the question and possible answer, Natalie, for everybody. I'm going to launch the poll right now.
Vamos a hacer unas preguntas porque queremos saber sobre ustedes, y entonces tenemos una pregunta que dice, ¿cuánto tiempo has tenido tu licencia de real estate? Si tienes tu licencia de real estate o si estás tomando clases en Kaplan en el momento. Queremos que ustedes participen también, entonces si pueden contestar las preguntas, perfecto, lo van a ver en sus pantallas. Y tenemos, yo veo sus comentarios, son muchos comentarios, pero los veo en español en el chat. Vilma dice, en Florida se puede dar el examen en español. Sí, Vilma, sí se puede dar el examen en español, definitivamente. Y puedes tomar las clases en español para poder adquirir los conocimientos, para tomar el examen en español o en inglés, lo que tú prefieras. Pero solamente 2 estados de los Estados Unidos tienen el examen en español, creo que es Nueva York y Florida. Por lo que entiendo, todos los demás lo tenemos que tomar en inglés. Y necesitas una licencia del estado en donde tú vives.
Fine. So I'm going to share the results.
Él va a compartir los resultados.
60% currently taking classes. Woohoo, good for you. You're smart to be here. I appreciate that. 5% 3 years or less, 5% 3 to 5 years, 10% 5 to 10 years. Good for you for coming here, for understanding this. And I did see somebody in the chat say, I'm looking to teach, which is excellent. So hopefully you're somebody that has some experience. And so maybe you could just share the results with everybody. I think it's,
Uh,
oh,
do I have to share it? Okay, perfect. I think they can see it now.
yeah, right. The results.
Ajá. En español. En español los resultados es la mayoría de la gente está, o los 60% están tomando clases en Kaplan en este momento, que es una opción bien inteligente estar aquí tomando clases con Kaplan. Muchos de ustedes tienen su licencia por menos de 3 años, de 3 a 5 años, 5% de ustedes, de 5 a 10 años, 10% de ustedes, más de 10 años, 5% y 15% están averiguando en la etapa de averiguar para poder tomar sus clases. También vimos en el chat que alguien dijo que está buscando ser instructor de Kaplan. Y qué bueno que todos están aquí. Alguien dice, ya terminé las clases hace 2 meses, hace unos meses, pero quiero agendar para darlo aquí en California, dar clases. Em, Alguien preguntó que si Kaplan va a hacer el examen en español. Depende, yo creo que Kaplan tiene una capacidad de hacer el examen en español en Florida, pero la mayoría de los estados, como ya dije, tienen que tomar el examen en inglés. Entonces no sería muy bueno para los que tienen que tomar el examen en inglés, tomar el examen final de Kaplan en español, porque la idea es prepararlos para el examen que van a tomar para sacar su licencia. Y si el examen que van a tomar está en inglés y toman el examen de Kaplan en español, a lo mejor no les sirve tan bien como aprenderse la terminología en inglés y aprenderse la conexión con su propio idioma. Y para eso estamos, para ayudarlos. Estas sesiones son los lunes y los jueves en español, son las mismas. So somebody's asking if the sessions are Mondays and Thursdays and at the same, and they are, sí son las mismas. And I have a teaching background in Ecuador, but
Oh, are they asking if they're the same, meaning the same topic? Because I think they're different topics, right?
they're different topics. I think they're asking if it's the same dates that
Oh,
we
Monday.
usually do have Mondays and Thursday sessions, learn sessions for sure. Mhm.
Got it. Oh, I've had one more poll question. If we could go ahead real quick and ask everybody. I'd like to know, we've got a bunch of people on and they're asking great questions, but how many of you have attended the new national learn session in Spanish? I'm going to launch this. If you'd help me.
Hay una pregunta más y es para preguntarles a todos ustedes, ¿cuántos de ustedes han ido a la sesión de Spanish Learn en español? Entonces les voy a dar un segundo para contestar es sí o no, si han ido a las sesiones en español. Oh, wow, muchos de ustedes han ido a las sesiones en español. Perfecto. Qué bien. Ok. Ok, is it okay if I end the poll?
Yeah, you can end the poll and just give out
Share
the
results. Okay.
results for.
Okay, so the results is like 79% of you have been to a learn session in Spanish, and 21% of you have not. And so los resultados son que el 79% de ustedes, y los pueden ver, han asistido a las sesiones en español y 21% de ustedes no han asistido.
Cool. Excellent. All right, so let's go into, let's do this, stop sharing, back. let's go to the next question. Okay, Natalie? Can you help us to kind of explain why the National Learn Sessions were created at Kaplan? Kind of a just to get to maybe Kaplan's mission to make sure we stay on point, because sometimes we create stuff and it can get away from us, but we really want to make sure why we did it and if we're on point.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Spanish Learn sessions were created to, first of all, Kaplan's mission, and is something that my beliefs align with really well, and I've been very glad to find a company that like Kaplan to be part of, is to help students and professionals achieve their goals and create a more equitable world for all learners. So we want to you want everybody to have equal possibilities of learning and of success in business, even if your English is not your first language. We should all have access to education. We should all have the same opportunities. And if we have the ability to create something that would help somebody have more opportunities, why wouldn't we? And so that's our goal. En español, lo que estábamos diciendo es que la misión de Kaplan es ayudar a los estudiantes y a los profesionales para que alcance sus metas y hacerlo de una manera más equitativa para el mundo y para todos los estudiantes. Entonces, estas sesiones de español ayudan a que la gente, no importa cuál sea su origen nacional, cuál idioma hablen, tengan las mismas oportunidades unos que los otros y tengan la misma capacidad de éxito, a pesar de que inglés no es su primer idioma.
Excellent, thank you. When I think people enter the real estate industry, they want to be their own boss. Generally, they want to be able to call their own shots. And I remember at the beginning of COVID, Natalie, do you remember all the people that came into real estate from the beginning of COVID, when a lot of people were in the service industry, and when COVID hit, they lost their jobs immediately.
Mhm.
So real estate's a classic, second career profession. And what happened was a lot of people were let go from work, and they were standing around looking and going, I can't believe I was just let go. I like working with people. I'm in a service industry. I want to continue to create those kind of relationships, but I'm tired of working for somebody else who can fire me in a moment because profits didn't come in, or they wanted to tighten the belt for whatever reason. And so that's generally how people come into real estate, is they want to take control of their lives and they want to call the shots. And maybe you could help us kind of understand, what do you think the career opportunities are for those, Spanish speaking agents, people coming in who I would say have a leg up, especially if you're bilingual, but even just to service a community. What do you think the opportunities are for our Spanish speaking agents coming into the marketplace? And I think we have some existing agents on the call right now on this webinar that could participate with an answer for this in the chat. If you would, we'd love to be able to comment on it. So Natalie, how would you answer that? What opportunity?
I definitely think that there is a lot of opportunity for growth in the Spanish speaking community. I feel like the Hispanic population is not only growing in the United States, but also the wealth of the Hispanic population is growing. They are going to be more and more Hispanic people purchasing homes, and it's part of our culture. It's a huge part of who we are. We're a family-oriented culture. We want to have a home to raise our kids and to have memories. It's just, and the Hispanic population, it's a beautiful thing to work with them, because some of them have to reinvent themselves. They're in a new place. They're in a new world. They don't know the system. They depend on you so much. But at the end of a transaction, because you have helped them so much and because you are part of their story, they're really appreciative. And so you will have a very good network of people to work with. So that would in turn add value to your life. So it's in general, if this is successful and we can all participate and we can all benefit from it, which it would be, I'm pretty sure, it's something that will add value to society as a whole, because there is a big gap of need for commercial real estate agents, for property managers, and for Spanish speaking agents, bilingual agents in the real estate industry. And it's up to us to be the best professionals that we can be in the real estate industry, and give a good name to our culture as well. And so all of that can be accomplished with us learning and improving and being, constant learners, which I think is really important.
Right.
So, fue como una respuesta bien larga, pero creo que nosotros tenemos muchísimas oportunidades. La pregunta fue, ¿cuál es la ventaja de tener una clase como esta y cuáles son las oportunidades que yo veo que están allá afuera para los agentes o las personas que puedan sacar su licencia y trabajar en bienes raíces? Y yo estaba diciendo que yo considero que hay un mercado muy grande de personas hispanas que están listas para comprar casa, y la capacidad de compra y los ingresos de los hispanos también están aumentando. Nosotros como sociedad somos personas que realmente trabajamos duro, que queremos a nuestra familia y que haríamos lo que sea por el bienestar de los nuestros. Y entonces el tener una casa, el tener un hogar para criar a nuestros hijos es un valor muy alto en nuestra sociedad. Si tú eres una persona que eres instrumental para que la gente tenga un hogar, para que la gente, y cuando uno está en bienes raíces, porque es un negocio, porque sabes de cómo manejar un negocio, también tienes la oportunidad de ayudar a la gente a crecer, de ayudar a la gente a tener estabilidad económica. Y a prepararse, a preparar un presupuesto y a prepararse para tener una casa y todas esas cosas. Nosotros tenemos la responsabilidad de ayudar a nuestra propia gente, y la mejor manera de hacer eso es preparándonos y aprendiendo y tener la mentalidad de siempre crecer, siempre ser mejor para poder agregar valor a la sociedad.
Excellent. Is there any, like, we talked before this a little
Ujú,
bit, and we talked about opportunities for this, and I know we covered some of them, but you also mentioned kind of an acute opportunity for Spanish speaking, and you mentioned it in your answer to this question, which was there's a growing wealth within the community.
ujú.
Yeah, and first step in wealth is generally people buy residential, they buy a home for their family, right? And what a cool opportunity to be a part of somebody's home buying journey, right? Might be the first home in ever for a family, might be, first home in a generation, might be, but as that wealth grows, so grows the opportunity. And generally, the next thing that comes after, having your home secured is investment. And we talked about it, and maybe an acute opportunity in the commercial real estate area. What are you seeing happening with commercial real estate opportunities for
Uh,
Spanish?
there- At least in my area, there's a huge growth or huge need, I guess, because Hispanics are growing in wealth and they are starting businesses and they are investing in real estate in the business side of things. Um, and so there is not enough commercial real estate agents because you have to have a different set, even though at least in North Carolina, the same license is that you can use the same license for residential than for commercial real estate. There's a different set of expertise. And it's been traditionally commercial real estate has been a very, I'm in commercial real estate. So I want my children to grow up to be in commercial real estate. And it's kind of like a generational kind of business where Hispanics need to also insert themselves so we can help the population that doesn't speak English. You have no idea how many people contact me because they want to have a hair salon, they want to have a car
Ah,
dealership, they want to have all these businesses. And I'm always like, well, I have a real estate agent that is a commercial real estate agent, but he speaks English. So we can team up and help you out. but it's not as it wouldn't be as fantastic as if I was in commercial real estate, or I had somebody, one of you, that can take the Spanish learn classes and pass your real estate exam and can come in and join a commercial real estate firm, and then I wouldn't have to be an intermediary in a transaction. You could take care of that client that wants to have a business. So um,
Excellent.
lo que estaba diciendo es que the Saida says, me, I'll volunteer. Estaba diciendo que hay muchas oportunidades en real estate comercial, y nosotros estábamos hablando antes de abrir la sesión para todos ustedes, y muy poca gente que habla español que puede ayudar a gente. Muchísimos hispanos tienen una mentalidad de negocios, tienen una mentalidad de empresarios, eran empresarios en sus países y quieren venir aquí y abrir un dealership de carros, quieren abrir una floristería, quieren una panadería hispana. O sea, hay muchísimos negocios, sobre todo esta área que está creciendo tanto, muchas áreas del país que crecen y no tenemos agentes, por lo menos en mi área, que hablen español directamente. Entonces yo tengo que buscar a alguien que hable inglés y trabajar con los clientes y en equipo con esta persona que habla inglés. Qué bueno sería que alguien con las experiencias, los conocimientos en la parte de real estate comercial hablara español y pudiera directamente ayudar a los clientes. Entonces, realmente los necesitamos a todos ustedes, y yo sé que es mucho estudiar y es muchísima dedicación, pero vale la pena. Y vale la pena para ustedes y vale la pena para la sociedad que los necesita.
Cool. I do think there's big opportunity. And I think it's in all levels of real estate these days. Like you said, the growing wealth is an underserved market right now, in the professional capacity of a real estate salesperson, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
So yeah, the besides getting to learn in a student's native language, why else? You know, we had a big group of people who've already been here in some learn sessions, but why else, other than just to get to learn in your native language, the kind of the education, the information you need in order to be successful to not only pass the course, which Kaplan spends a lot of time and effort on, but also pass your exam. How else can students benefit from coming to one of your learn sessions?
Well, I think that in real estate, and this is secretly why I teach, or maybe not that secretly, but I think that in real estate, nobody succeeds alone. It's a business of networking. It's a business of connections. In real estate, your business is going to be as big as your network is. So if you come to one of these classes, you get to know each other, and you get to know people in other states. And I know that, for example, in my last learn class, I had somebody from Pennsylvania, I have somebody in New Jersey, I have had people in Minnesota. So if I have anybody that's moving from North Carolina to New Jersey, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, I know potential agents that will get their license, and I do purposely ask them to let me know when they get their license. And I have very good referral partners. We have each other to support each other. So I always give them my email. And I will give you my email today. And if you give me 24 hours, I'll answer to every email you send me, about any questions you can possibly have that have to do with your career development, with your goals in real estate, with if you have any clients whatsoever that are moving to North Carolina, I'll be glad to guide you into who is the most fantastic agent in North Carolina for residential real estate. So connections are important. So that's a huge advantage of having a national company that would teach you classes, and you're not just doing that small local real estate class. You have access to people everywhere.
En
And
español?
Yeah, thank you. Lo que estaba diciendo es que, aparte de aprender en tu idioma, que pues por supuesto eso es invaluable para todos nosotros, puedes tener conexiones. En real estate nadie tiene éxito solo. nosotros, el éxito de y Clarisa puede ayudar en Tennessee y Clarisa, ahí tienes mi email, o sea que si ustedes están en cualquier parte de los Estados Unidos, mándenme un email y déjenme saber, mira, estaría feliz de aceptar tus referrals en Tennessee. Yo no conozco a nadie en Tennessee, Clarisa, o sea que qué bueno conocerte. Y qué bueno saber que hay una gente que toma el tiempo de educarse, que toma el tiempo de estar en charlas como esta, que toma el tiempo de ser la mejor agente que puede ser para los demás y que va a a tener cuidado con mis clientes, a tratarlos bien en Tennessee. Entonces eso es importante, mantenernos todos en contacto y hacer un network. Um,
Excellent. And people, if you're not familiar now, some of you maybe aren't even sitting in classes, but you should know that every licensing student who takes a licensing course at Kaplan, no matter what state you're in, you have access to these live online sessions that happen multiple days a week. And in fact, there's English speaking that happens nearly every single day of the week, and we've introduced these new Spanish speaking, which are going to give people an opportunity to connect at a different level with the content. Our goal at Kaplan is to make sure that you are not left alone doing your education, that you have a support network, that you can come, you can ask questions. It's a topic-driven discussion webinar where you can get to know the instructor and get to ask your questions. You also get to become very familiar with the content, maybe given to you in your native language. And it's an opportunity, like you just said, connect with other people from across the country, really, in these sessions. So maybe you could help if you hadn't said that before, maybe we could help the people understand kind of Kaplan's mission here, which is
Ujú.
make sure we're supporting you across the whole thing.
Nosotros, lo que él estaba diciendo, que tenemos no solamente las sesiones de Learn en español, hay una sección de Learn en inglés. Si ustedes son parte de la plataforma de Kaplan y están tomando cualquier clase en Kaplan, casi que todos los días. No solo eso, pero también tenemos tutorías que ustedes pueden optar a recibir. Todos esos son elementos que ustedes tienen para que tengan un instructor y lo que nos diferencia en Kaplan es los instructores están disponibles para ustedes todos los días a toda hora. Nosotros tenemos un calendario de tutorías que si ustedes dicen, "Ah, mira, yo no entendí en la sesión de Learn en las 2 horas, quisiera hablar más de este tema, ustedes pueden hacer una cita de tutoría y hay alguien disponible casi que las 24 horas del día. Eso también es parte de la misión de Kaplan, que ustedes siempre tengan el apoyo que necesitan para tener éxito si eso es lo que quieren.
Excellent, thank you. All right, so we are just about at the end, and I just wanted to say thank you, Natalie. Is there any other things you'd like to tell everybody before we go ahead and wrap up today?
Besides just knowing that you have an ally in me, not only as a Kaplan instructor, and my email, Jamie put it in the chat, and it's natalie.smart@kaplan.edu. Still in the chat in there. My email is always available for you for any questions, anything that you want to talk about. Please email me, and best of luck to everybody because we need good agents that make us look good out there and that are always learning and always growing. So thank you for being here. Estaba diciendo que mi email, yo de repente no, pues si pusieron sus números y sus emails en el chat, a lo mejor no sé si voy a tener un acceso a los récords de este chat, pero mi email está en el chat. Si ustedes pueden, mándenme un email, denme su información. Si tienen licencia, díganme en dónde están trabajando. Cualquier pregunta que tengan, estoy disponible para ustedes, no solamente como instructora de Kaplan, pero también a nivel personal. Y siempre a la orden y necesitamos gente si están pensando en sacar su licencia o si son parte de nuestra plataforma de Kaplan en este momento, trabajen duro porque vale la pena y los necesitamos. Necesitamos gente como ustedes que nos hagan mejores, una mejor profesión, que nos hagan ver bien en el mercado. Entonces, pues gracias por estar aquí.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, Natalie. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. If for any reason you want to move this conversation Further, you can go to our Kaplan community. I believe Jamie Cash has put the right there in the chat for you all if you want to continue the conversation. And then everybody, you will receive an email within about a week of a link to the video for this. And if you want to share that with anybody, please do. Appreciate you very much. Natalie, thank you again.
Thank you for having me. And él estaba diciendo que si quieren continuar la conversación, hay un link para la comunidad de Kaplan en donde pueden continuar la conversación de este seminario. Y también, muchas gracias por estar aquí. Y what else, like, besides the joining the Kaplan community? Oh, y ustedes van a recibir una grabación de la sesión de hoy por email en unos días.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.